bring snacks.
What's going on, everybody? Your anime admins are here, back for another week of Spoiler Boys Thriller Park Edition, ReZero Season 2, episodes 4 through 6 this week that we watched. It's just us today, Noah. Unfortunately, Gabby can't be with us. She has some other things to take care of, so she'll be back next week with us. So for right now, it's just the guys. We're going to talk about... let's dive right into this first episode, this episode 4. It's literally just Subaru taking his trial. That's the entire episode. As y'all saw when we left off at, he went in to take the trial, passed out, and he woke up back in his room, getting woken up / attacked by his father.
Like in his room, back in his original world.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Does his father give you Bleach father vibes like he does me?
Now that you say it, I can see that.
Okay.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah, but he is put into this trial where, he has to figure out, how to pass it, obviously, and the key is to talk to his parents about how he was feeling at the time. And we get a real good look at where his mind state was before the show even started, like coming into the first episode. You get a good look at where he was at mentally, and I think it explains a lot as to just his mode of thinking and his actions he takes throughout ReZero. What do you think?
Yeah, we just find out what the trial is, what it entails, and then we've kind of discovered so far that seems like the trial accesses your memories. And because during it, you kind of think like he kind of forgets that he's even there. He forgot that he got isekai and everything. He hears Amelia's voice in the background, and he's, doing his thing. But then he's slowly starting to remember, oh yeah, I'm in an isekai. Later, you find out all those things weren't even real. They were just created from his memories. So from that, we can kind of gather that the trial is designed to access some old memories, and maybe you've gotta face your deepest, darkest trauma, whatever that may be, and then you complete the trial. Because I'm not sure if he complete the trial, but I think he did. He
completed as you learn. There's 3 stages, so he completed the first stage. And for him, his deepest fear, regret, whatever that he had to face was telling his parents how he was feeling, how he pretty much wanted to give up on everything. He'd already given up on school. He just wanted to give up on life, period. And his parents never said anything to him about it. And he just wanted to, just say, y'all hate me, say, kick me out, just say something, do something. And in their minds, it was like, we know our son, he's good, he's going to get through this type of deal. But none of that was ever said to one another. So he had all this built up frustration in him. And I thought it was really cool to see him sit down, not technically sit down, but have a one-on-one with both of them while going through this. Yeah. First having it with his father and him saying all that to his father. His father's like, dude, you want me to get mad at you for not going to school? That's the worst of it? You trying to do? You could have done more than that to kick you out or something. And different, though, when he's finally saying something to his mother and they're having that walk and he's talking to her. And she's like, yeah, I've known this the whole time. I know my son. Your mom. Yeah. I think that was a good look, like I said, into how he thinks, how he handles something. It makes me go back and look at past scenes that have happened, like the big scene with him and Rem. And she confesses everything and how he was so trying to reject it, and she just kept laying on him and wouldn't let him. I think that's something, obviously, that comes from his parents. Yeah. So him pushing back against it and everything. But I thought it was a really good, solid episode. Especially one quick episode, we get a lot of backstory into Subaru, learning, his past and why he is the way he is. So do you agree that was just a great episode to get to more know about him?
Yeah, I do. I think it was good. I think it was good to see his background and stuff like that. I think that he could have I don't know. I think he could have had some real trauma. I feel like he could have had some real trauma. But maybe Teppei Sensei, the writer, was thinking, I've already given him so much trauma in this life, that maybe in a last life, but I don't know. But because the stuff he was going through was just, it was just something that every kid goes through. You lose your direction in life, or not every kid, but any kid who doesn't have super rich parents and like a college degree, you know what I mean, waiting for them and stuff like that. Kind of your way, you think, what do you want to do? You want to give up. Some people get through it, some people don't. So that just really, it did a good job showing how we got through it and giving us exactly what the trial is and giving us more of Subaru's personality as a whole. Because like I keep saying, as you watch this story, it's such a different story than anything else. It's even hard to compare to an isekai because they really want you to get wrapped up in the characters, you know. They want you to know every part of each character and really feel connected to them, as to where you don't really get that in almost any other series. So I think that was a good episode for Subaru.
Facts. And right after that ends, well, as it ends, we learned that Echidna is the one, you know, that was manipulating his trial or whatever you call it. And they have a little back and forth, and he's kind of having fun with, like, I ain't gonna lie though, you look good in that schoolgirl outfit type of deal. Like, it's some funny little banner that they have. And he's winning her over through like how he is. Like we said last time we first met her, he's treating her like a regular old girl, not like she's a witch or anything special. He's treating her so regular, and it's, you see, it throws her off her game. So I do like that banter between them. But we come out of that going into the next episode with him waking up from the trial and finding Amelia stretched out on the ground, like mentally broken, going through whatever her trial is. And of course he gets her out of there. They get her back to nurse her back to health.
Like full-blown PTSD, screaming.
Like it was
delusional.
It was pretty bad. And as she's healing, you know, Ram and Garfield and all them are sitting around trying to come up with plans and how they're gonna take going forward. And the girl that introduced Subaru to Echidna shows back up. What's her name? Rizu, I think it is. Rizu or something like that. The
short one?
Yes, with the long pink hair and the little cloak. Yeah, she shows back up, and they're all trying to come up with a plan of how they're going to approach these trials. And Roswaal before even Roswaal gets involved, Subaru goes to call somebody by their name. I can't remember who it is, and Ram shuts him up. Like, be careful what you say around here. And we find out that she has been looking into things, and she's thinking our new maid, back at the mansion,
Frederica,
that Frederica might have her own incentives, that she's manipulating things, and there's no reason why. It looked like she might be the one that set Amelia up to get put into the situation. So of course Subaru's ramped up, and we end up talking to Roswaal. Well, Subaru actually ends up talking to Roswaal, and Roswaal kind of just reveals to him, like, yeah, you did everything I needed you to do. You did everything you were supposed to do. I kind of manipulated this whole situation for this exact moment to happen the way it is. And Subaru's getting pissed off because so many people died. What do you think about this kind of like new glimpse into Roswaal and his confession of like, yeah, I kind of manipulated all this stuff to happen, and not knowing kind of where we're placing him at right now?
Oh, we just now we got some more questions. Like I said, season 2 answers some questions, and it starts asking some questions. It answers some questions telling us all the witches were dead, and it asks some questions by showing some more witches and showing us this about Roswaal. So it's like we've always had like a ominous vibe around Roswaal. But the thing is I feel like in this show, nothing's ever as it seems. I also feel like nothing's ever just easy. For example, everyone's calling Amelia the witch. That's too easy. She can't look like the witch, and you're trying to figure out who the witch is. The witch is altering Subaru's health and all this, and she actually is that. It's too easy. The story is too good. So I don't see that being the case. I don't know fully why. We haven't learned fully why he's manipulated anything yet. But right now, just raises the question of what's Roswaal's motive. Because at the end of the day, Roswaal's endorsing Amelia, you know what I mean, letting her stay in this giant mansion and funding all the stuff. He's a noble, etc. But he's got to have some reason as to why he wants to do it, and we don't know what that
100%. Is. Now, here's a question I want to ask you. Listen to that conversation they were having. Does Roswaal know about Subaru's curse? I think he knows about the whole dying and coming back and reliving his life over thing. I think he's into it.
Nah, I don't think he does. Because the only thing is that ability is just too. It's nobody can know because it resets everything. And there's been so many times, if you think about it, there's been so many times where they've talked to Roswaal in the mansion and he's reset. You know what I mean? He's completely reset. There's been times where he literally tried to kill Subaru because he was so angry at what happened in the loop, versus other times he used Subaru to his advantage. So I feel like that in the craziest twist of plot could happen. But I feel like that the reset is just intrinsically Subaru. Because like Echidna even said, he was the only one in the world who can see her. She's not even a real thing. She's a memory, like a spirit memory or something. So he's the only one who can go to that plane where she is. And the only reason is because of a special access. And none of those other people could do that. You know what I mean? None of those other people, none of the other archbishops have been face to face with a witch memory. So that being the case,
until he tricked Beetlegeist or whatever, and got him to come inside and see her, and that messed him up. Yeah.
Because Beetlegeist would have fucking shit his pants if he saw Echidna in person. So there's no way he did already. And he was mad that Subaru had her smell. So I feel like all the powers of the witch that are pertaining to Subaru, especially like the reincarnation, the reset, I feel like that's just him. Because Roswaal and Puck are damn near like map altering strong. Yeah. And it still resets them. Even Puck. Like Puck can destroy the world. So if it resets her, I feel like there's nobody. But still, by the end of season 2, this isn't a spoiler, but they haven't answered that question. So maybe not. But I feel like there's nobody who knows about the reset.
Well, I definitely can tell I think he knows more about Subaru than he's letting on, at least.
Yeah.
He knows.
I think he knows more about the witch, not
that
Subaru.
That too.
I think he knows.
I think he knows more about their connection. Why she put the curse on him or whatever. I think he's more in tune with that, and he's using that information to play up.
But the thing is, the witch he's talking about, remember when he said use her name, she has a name? The witch he was talking about was Echidna. The witch who put the curse on Subaru wasn't Echidna.
Yeah, that was Satella.
Yeah. Exactly. It's highly implied that it was Satella. We don't even know if it was her who brought him or put it there, but it's implied that was her. So if that's the case, I think he knows about witches, and maybe he can sense something on Subaru because he can sense the curse. Okay. But I don't know if he knows about Subaru. I could be wrong.
Yeah, but like we said, a lot more questions they're hitting us with. You know what I mean? But I'm here all for it. But at the end of the episode, when we get to the end of the episode, Subaru decides to go back to the mansion pretty much to confront. I keep forgetting her name. The new
Amelia.
No, not Amelia.
Oh, Frederica.
Frederica, yeah, to go see what's going on there. He gets back, and in true ReZero fashion, it's a sunset, and it's very bloody red sunset when he gets back there, which is not a good feel. To go around the mansion, he can't find nobody. Out of nowhere, he slips and falls, what looks like on his own blood, because his belly has been cut. And who do we know that likes to cut open people's bellies? Elsa is back, and she has just murdered him, and probably at this point, everybody else. But he flashes back to where he woke up from the trial. And of course, just going through that, he's got to calm himself down for a second. Oh my gosh, that was Elsa. She's in the mansion. What is going on type of deal? Only for him to run back to try to, he's back in his time loop. So he gets Amelia, takes her back, goes, sits down, talk to everybody. That conversation doesn't go as planned because he's trying to escalate where it got to without having those conversations. So he's just saying stuff to Garfield and saying stuff to Amelia like, oh, maybe I could take the trial for you. Like, oh, you don't believe in me, Subaru? Like, is that what we're doing now? And he realizing he has to calm down for a second, let me roll it back, figure out how to say this correctly and maneuver so that I can get to the mansion ASAP because Elsa's going to be there and I need to be there before she is to, one, be able to take her down if at even possible and save everybody, protect everybody. We know how it is. So what do you think about at this point so far, Noah? With him,
I think it's dope.
I
think it's dope that Elsa's back and we get to see her again. She's a fucking menace.
1000%.
We're gonna see just where this goes. She cut him open a couple times. We don't know if she finished or killed Frederica, but we know she beat her at least enough to be able to come and meet the rest of them. And then that's just, it's crazy. I don't know. They're gonna have to figure something out. But that's what Subaru does. So he's back in place. He's got all the pieces. He can't get Amelia's help this time. He can't get Roswell's help, and it's in Roswell's house.
Can't get Rem's help.
Can't get Rem's help.
No, it's up
He's got the weaker of the two twins.
Yep, it's Ram, Petra, and what's his name? And it's just, it's a mess that he's going through right now, just in this scene alone, as they're all trying to stay alive and not get killed by Elsa, and people are fighting all around the mansion. They're trying to let's go get Rem, let's get her body out while she's holding her off. And as they're in the process of doing that, the ceiling just collapses on top of them. Yep. They do this cool shot where it's like first person through Subaru's eyes as he's being like pulled from the rubble, and they're trying to like escape and get him out of there. But you see it through like he's kind of waking up. This is a pretty cool little view.
But before that, he was protecting Petra, the little maid, and taking her along with him. And it was her, Frederica, and him, and Ram. Right. And then Frederica went off to fight Elsa one-on-one. Mm-hmm. And once the roof collapsed, then
then we get this very treacherous kind of scene where Subaru realizes he's still holding Petra's hand, which obviously sends him into just emotional despair as he's walking down carrying the blood-soaked handkerchief that she gave him. His eyes bleeding. He's all, hurt, half dead. Elsa pulls up behind him like, time to get your bowels. And at the very last second, Beatrice shows up and saves him. What the hell took her so long?
Elsa said, I hope you kept your bowels warm for me.
She did.
That chick is crazy.
I love every minute of it.
I don't know what took Beatrice so long, but she, Beatrice definitely has her own goals. And she has her own goals. And as long that it seems like the only stuff she does pertains to herself if it affects her in some type of way. So It seems that Subaru dying would have affected her. So she saved it.
I agree. And also we had another interesting scene with them being back at the castle, where Subaru decides to go ahead and tell Ram about Rem and see if it'll help jog her memory or anything like that. So when they get to the mansion, he takes her to the room, and as she goes in and looks at her, she asks, like, can you just leave us alone for a second? He's like, all right, cool, and she goes, whatever, in the room. And when it's time for the action to start, Elsa starts, causing havoc, and they got to get out of there. They're like, all right, let's go in and get Rem, saying, and let's roll. And Ram was like, nah, she's a casualty. She's a liability. No, we can leave without her. It works with us to leave. And he obviously gets super pissed off what's wrong. And she's like, I can look at her and see, I can feel the blood in her. That's my blood. Yeah, that's my sister, but look at her. Like,
right.
She's not going to help us get out of the situation. She can say it. She's worthless at this point. Of course, he gets pissed off, but there's only so much you can do at that point when Elsa is literally chasing you around the mansion trying to kill you. You don't have so much time to argue and bicker about that kind of stuff. But fight ensues, and that's where they split up to go get her, and they continue to fight Elsa, and then the ceiling collapse on everybody. But all in all, 3 very strong episodes. Once again, I don't expect anything less from ReZero.
We're going to have to get some help. We're going to have to figure it out. He always does.
Yeah, I was going to say how he's going to get out of the situation, but since he's with Beatrice right now, I think she's the way out of this. Just obviously she's a very powerful spirit, but what can we do to motivate her to help in the situation? Because she's been sitting around in the castle so far, she knows what's going on and hasn't done anything yet.
Yeah.
So, even in the past loop, she could have stopped that before he went up there and got his belly slit. She let it all happen. So that's going to be an interesting start this week when we get to episode. So I'm very excited to see where we start and how we get out of this situation and get back to Amelia to help her get through these trials, because she's got to be the one to do it at the end of the day. So I'm excited as all hell for next week. I know you're excited for it. I hope the people out there watching are excited for it. Because this journey has been insanely fun and all over the map with feelings, and I'm enjoying every second of it. So y'all know where to find us. Thursdays, 9:30 in the Discord. Watching ReZero right now. So until then, we will catch you later. Deuces.
Peace.